Greg, did everyone come through the session fine? No problems?
No problems at all today. It's good. Yeah, guys had a good run around and loosened up after the travel yesterday, so we're pretty good.
Did the guys come back in the front row? Do you think that will make a difference to the team as well?
Yeah, I think the guys that have been there have done pretty well. You know, obviously there was a few things in the French game that didn't go away, but we try to look at those things and take out of it how we can improve. We might not always agree on the decisions that are made sometimes, and that's probably not just at scrum time as well. And you know, Rossi comes in with his experience, and having played here before, played against England many times now. So we're hoping that we can have good contests, and we can have we can be happy afterwards that things have gone to how we have planned. You know.
Rory, when you come off a defeat, I suppose you just want to get back on the horse as quickly as possible, and you've had a 2-week wait to do that. Is there a lot of pent-up frustration there?
Okay, look, when we met last week down in Mullingar and I had a look back at the French game, we were very disappointed that it was definitely one that we let slip by just through a few mistakes of our own, a few bits and pieces. But yeah, it's been a long enough 2 weeks, and you're right, you do just want to get back on the pitch and you want to try to correct a few things. And look, it's there's probably fewer tougher challenges in world rugby than coming to Twickenham. But look, it's a big challenge for us, and it's one we're looking forward to. You know, we've had 2 weeks to prepare for it, and we've put a few things in place, a few players coming back, and that's lifted us. So look, it's one for us to get back and get those little things right, because like I think against England, you look traditionally when Ireland play England over the last number of years, it has come down to small margins, and they're the small margins that we need to make sure that swing our way this week.
Greg, the implication from Eddie was that Johnny was a defensive weak link. Is that an unfair assessment?
I think definitely. I think Johnny's probably one of the most hard-working, physical players around. He doesn't look massively strong, but he is. He's really strong. And in that channel, quite often it's a combative area, and occasionally he might get his head up or his shoulder down and make a big hit. I think it's a little bit unfair to say that, but there's so many things, like Rory said, there's so many things are said, but you don't want to be distracted by that, and you certainly don't want to be. For us, we don't target players because there's not enough time in the game to worry about that anyway. You know, they've got a job to do.
Rory, could you talk a little bit about Josh van der Flair and what he brings, what he's like as an offender?
I think to play against, we played against him for Ulster against Leinster. He's a handful. You know, he's good at the breakdown, and he's very combative. Not only the breakdown, but carrying the ball and the tackle. I think we'd sort of seen a little bit of him last season when he made a few games for Leinster, and then sort of take the tail end of the season off. And you can sort of tell with these players. It's like when Conor Murray first came into the Ireland squad as a really young kid. You know, he wasn't the best player there, but you could just tell there was something about him, and it's the same with Josh. You know, there's just something about him that you know he's going to be a quality player. And I think to have trained with, he's just one of those players that's very easy to train with, because you know if you ask him to do something, he'll do it. Whenever we talk about getting our stuff right and our detail right, you know he's going to be one of the guys that very, very rarely makes a mistake. And for somebody that young, it's a great trait to have. And I think for me personally, I'm really looking forward to playing alongside him tomorrow.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of attention, I suppose, on Josh and on Stuart because of being the new faces. How do you think they'll cope, and is there kind of a buzz created when new fresh blood comes into the team?
I think there is a bit of a buzz. You know, it's a great thing, and everyone tells you when you win your first cap, you know, that period of time between the end of the captain's run and the start of the game will fly by. And whenever you're in that position, and it is a long time ago since I was in that position, but you still remember it, and at the time you think it dragged on forever, but it's only when you look back in hindsight you go, that did go in a flash. And that's what we'll be telling those boys now. Just try to enjoy this next 24 hours or just over 24 hours as much as they can, because the thing that you get with youth and with a little bit of inexperience at this level is that they have no fears. They just go out and play, and they just want to play. They want the ball. They want to make tackles, and that can be very much infectious. And that's what we have to sort of thrive off. But also we have a responsibility as senior players and as guys that maybe have played 20, 30 caps and some a lot more, that we produce a performance, that we show them that Test rugby is great, but winning a Test rugby is probably the best experience you'll get when playing rugby.